you are a transformational coach. How does that process work? Because I'm going to presume that you are not just coaching attorneys. So you've coached athletes, you've coached young, you've coached old. How does that process unfold between you and a client?
So for me, there are a lot of amazing coaches out there. For me, part of what separates me is I do not coach from a particular, outline or with particular guideposts. I do believe deeply in the principles in the book, but, I both try to meet a client where they are and let them know that I'm also going to want them to get uncomfortable, meet me where I think they need to get to. And I tell clients from the very beginning, those that I work with, the fit has to be good. And I am not for everybody. I will, ask folks to get uncomfortable with, their stuff. I will tell people right away that, if you're not willing to suffer some, then the growth is going to be really difficult to get at. And, I laugh to myself sometimes, well, how do you sell suffering? What you're selling is, what you're giving to people is an ability to be at peace with, with where they are. So, every person is different. And I love working with people that are like very high functioning people that objectively, are at the top of their game, and everybody around them is telling them that they're killing it. Right. Which is where I was living, as a trial lawyer, particularly toward the end of my run as a lawyer. And inside I'm saying, what else is here? There's got to be something else for me, or I know that I can reach for some other level of greatness. And so I love to get at people where everybody around them is telling them they're killing it, right? And they're saying to themselves, where do I go from here? So,
right. But inside they're unhappy.
People. Mm-hmm. Unhappy or not even sure, can't quite get at it. Something's not right? There's something else that, and on the athletic side, I'm blessed to work with some athletes, and sometimes it's everybody around them is telling them how great they are, and they are. And you look at the numbers, but they're saying to themselves, I think there's some better version of me, and how do I get at that? And I'm a big believer in accessing your future self, right? And your future self sometimes is an hour down the road, and sometimes your future self is 5 years down the road, right? But your future self almost always has the wisdom that you need, right? So if it's as simple as, a morning workout that you're talking yourself into not doing because you're so busy, ask your future self 1 hour out, right? Or your future self at the end of the day about how much, where your energy level was, based on whether you did or didn't do the workout. And then of course there are the bigger issues that may be further down the road, but I'm very big on accessing your future self.
Right. You've talked about that vision, having that vision.